What's up, comic book junkies? Welcome back to the Nighttiger comic book channel. I'm Mike Smith, and I effed up for a second time. I bought this Marvel book again, thinking it was a first appearance, and you'll see why I thought it. I really need to school myself on this book, but it's a cool Marvel book, so I'm not disappointed. I could do something with a giveaway trade. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so we got a comic book haul. I went to 2 shows. I also got some eBay pickups, and I'm actually waiting on a book. It was supposed to be here yesterday. And then I looked at the tracking, and it's not even here today. It's in Jacksonville, so it's not going to get here till I'm out of town. I was hoping it would be part of this haul. All right, so what do we got here? So I'm going to show the free comic book day comic fest books first. I went to this last weekend. They did this show early. They put it on the mall. Shout out to Austin. All right, say something funny.
I'm alive.
Vibranium Comics is his 8th year in business. He's got a 50% off all back issues in Ocala all week today, all week this week. So I went to his Comic Fest. They did it early. Person in charge of events at the mall said, hey, why don't you do it on New Comic Book Day, promoting that with the Comic Fest. So we had 2 small shows one weekend after another. So I went to one the weekend before last, and got 2 huge books. But enough talking. Let's get into this. So this is another one that I picked up a second time. I'm actually looking for the supernatural thrillers issue, and mistakenly thought this was it. The Invisible Man. It's still a cool cover. I already have it though, and it was in the dollar bin. So this second vendor I went to had some great dollar books, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But this is one of the books that was in there. So all these are from that vendor. So Invisible Man, this is the Marvel Classic Comics, number 25. And I already have that one. But a great cover. Just love that cover. This I have not seen. This is from 1986. It's Popeye Born to the Sea Special by Ocean Comics number 1. It's from 1981? 87. I looked in here. I didn't put who the artist was, but it looks to be similar to Michael Golden Age art. The art is really good in this. I have not read it yet. So that's number 1 from 1987. Popeye, dollar. And I picked up this number 1. He had 1 through like 10, then some others like 20 something. And I didn't pick any of those up. Man, I just read this morning. The art in here is phenomenal. Art by Frank Cho. And now I'm kicking myself for not buying all those other ones because I read this. And the story was short, but the writing was good. And I really enjoyed it. And the art really picked up the pace for the story because you were just staring at the panels. And I don't understand because there's so many great panels in here. Much better than this cover. This cover is, even though it's good, it's really not his best rendition. Because I'm telling you, there was some great good girl art in here. And the story, I enjoyed it immensely. I am really sorry that I did not pick up the following issues 1 through 10, or 2 through 10. So that's Jungle Girl number 1. From 2007. This I did read also. It's a really cool cover. Death World. I don't know if you can see that skull kind of in the background there. We got some good girl action going there. They actually show her little nipple right there, which you rarely see on a book. I love finding, excuse me, 1980s indies. There's just so much good stuff out there. This book is one of them, and the story was leading up to Death World. It's a planet where everything kills you, the plants, the animals, everything is like really deadly. But they never showed it. They never showed it. They were leading up to getting to that. So I'm guessing second issue opening splash, you'll see that planet. So that was a little disappointing, but it was a good story. I liked it. Black and white, no color inside here. This is from 1990 of November. So this book, I know about this series from DC. It's a Bronze Age series. It's an anthology series. But this is actually the first appearance of Star Hunters. I never knew about this book. So number 16 from October 87 again. First appearance of the Star Hunters. You got a Don Newton cover with Bob Layton on the inks. And it's from October 87. And just a killer book, man. Like I said, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this was their first appearance. So happy to get that out of the dollar bin. It's a nice copy, too. So more dollar books. So I went to this show with the idea that I'm only going to spend $20. Now I overspent I spent twice. I spent $40. I got two bigger books, and then these $10 books, but he gave me $2 off, so they were less than $1. I think they were like 80 cents. So you can't pass up Atlas Seaboard books in decent shape in the dollar bin. And then Destructor here. So here's number 4. So this is from 1975 of August. And then number 3. And then he had number 2. Here's number 1. And number 1 is like the highest grade of all of them. It's like a 9.0 copy. So February 1975. First appearance of the Destructor. I think that's a Larry Lieber cover. Correct me in the comments. So those were all $1. I already have them all. I think I might have been missing number 4. So I got doubles on some of them. And I'm already talking to trade with somebody. So 1 through 4 out of the dollar bin. And I found this book again, my favorite Adam Hughes cover. I found this book twice in the dollar bin. The DC Logo Universe copy for $3. And now I found another one. She's back. Look who's back. Adam Hughes. Legionnaires, number 16, July 1994. Not a modern book guy, but this is a killer cover. I love it. No, I had 4 copies. I was down to 3. Now I'm back up to 4 again. This is a book for $1. I'll pick this up every single time. Okay, so the 2 books. There was a vendor there. I recognized the guy and I couldn't place him. Later on, I realized that he's from Webster Flea Market, and I've bought some really killer Golden Age books from this guy for cheap. So I bought that second book thinking it's a key. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I've bought some Golden Age off this guy for really good prices, some scarce stuff. But I got this, man. I didn't label what year. I think this is 1970. So Hulk 119 with Maximus versus the Hulk. I didn't have this one. So he's Black Bolt's brother. I'm sure you already know that, but just in case you don't. He's Maximus the Mad Maximus. And I'm sure that has to do with the movie Mad Max at the time. But killer cover, Herb Trimp, I don't know how you say it. I say Trimp because Trimpy sounds dumb. But so the book that I goofed up on, this is the second time I picked this up thinking it was the first appearance of Doc Samson. It is not. His first appearance is in 141, and now I have to remember that because I definitely want to pick it up. I think he's a really cool character. I think he looks awesome, and I've read a different Doc Samson stories, and he's a nuclear scientist. He got hit by the gamma rays like the Hulk did. His hair turned green. If I remember correctly, he got super strength out of it. But you could see why I thought it was first appearance. Like I said, I went into this show. I actually had 30 minutes to shop, and it's at the mall. I had to work that day. I was in northern Alabama. I had to leave at midnight. Made it back, got in my truck, zoomed to the mall, shot through these books in 30 minutes, and had to get back home because I had a lady I had to pick up for a baptism. So I did it. I met my goal. I spent $20 more than I wanted to, but not bad. I'm really trying to go to these shows and not spend a whole lot of money anymore. I'm actually downsizing the collection. I'm really on the other side of the fence about moving to Dominican Republic so I can retire early. And I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do with my comics. I definitely am going to bring several thousand, but how many, I don't know. So the show that I went to the week before was the Brick City in Ocala. I picked up $1 book. My buddy was with me. I love Joe. He's a great friend. But he likes to rush. He's done quickly, and he's got a sore back, so I had to really go through this one pretty quick. And it was a good show. Another one that was hosted by Austin of Vibranium Comics. So the only book I picked up in the dollar bin was Attack number 15, March 75. It's really hard for me to leave Charlton's. Metarog, Steve Ogden from Charlton 66. These guys have got me bitten by the Charlton bug, and I rarely will leave a Charlton behind, at least for $1. Speaking of that, I picked up a Charlton. I spent $200 on this book. And you're like, what? $200 for a Charlton? What Charlton could be worth $200? Well, you're going to see. So I went around, saw this. It's got some stuff on the cover, but it's number one. It's a 100-page Super Mouse book from 1957. He had 10. He gave it to me for 8. And I can't wait to read this. I've not read it yet. I love funny animal books. Matter of fact, I just read this one this morning from 1945 that I picked up from my comic shop for $8.80 with shipping. And man, the colors on here are fantastic. But it's not the caliber of Disney or Looney Tunes. But I had fun reading it this morning. So I like funny animal books. So I got that Super Mouse for $8. These are pretty cheap. You can get them on my comic shop. I probably could have picked up, well, around this price, $10 for a better copy. And there is a second issue. But I'd rather find these kind of books from the Silver Age in the wild. Okay, so I bought 2. So I went with this show with the idea that I wanted to pick up bigger books. So I picked up this. So I brought in a first appearance of S.H.I.E.L.D., Strange Tales, number 135. So I had a CBCS copy graded 3.0, but it was signed by Dick Ayers on the cover in silver ink. And since I already have this one, and this one's actually probably like a 3.5, I don't need 2 copies, and I'm not a SIG guy. So they gave me $65 credit on that. So I put it towards this book, and then I paid the rest with cash. So this is Foxhole. Wow. Really super scarce.
Whoa.
Charlton series. Wow. This is the last issue, probably one of the hardest to find. But the first 2 issues, 1 and 2, are by Prize Comics, and they're drawn and written by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. And those go for thousands and thousands of dollars. So I've always wanted to own a Foxhole just to like have some semblance of attachment to those first 2 issues, which I'll never be able to afford. So I picked this up. He had it graded at a 5.0. So March 1956. And this is number 7. Like I say, it's the last issue. And it's like one of the hardest Charltons to get out of the Silver Age. So happy to get that. And he was affiliated. He had a partner there. His partner had this on the wall. I read this book. This is War Era DC Comics. And this is also Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Sandman cover. And they do the story in here. This is Adventure Comics, 1944. It's got some tape on it. It's low grade. It's complete. It's attached. Even the centerfold's attached. But it has a great Starman story in here with beautiful art by Emil Johansson, I think his name is. But his art is phenomenal. Shining Knight story. A lot of other stuff. Of course, the Sandman story. And I paid $90 to it. He had 120. He gave it to me for $90. So very happy with that. This is a great, oh man, this book is thick. War Era, Simon and Kirby. It's just, I love it. It is just one of these books, the books I love collecting. Okay, we're hitting down to the eBay purchases. This was an auction win for $10. Now it had a $10 shipping, or yeah, so it was like 20 something. What did I pay? $22.20, I think it was. But man, it's a cool flamethrowing cover. It's complete. It does have a half-inch split on here, and it has some minor water waves which I can press out. But this is number 19, ACG Spy Hunters from July 1953. So definitely Golden Age. No comic code. Flamethrower cover. I couldn't believe no one else bid it on this book. Yeah, it's a very cool book. I couldn't wait to get this. And the guy didn't put tracking on it, so I got worried. But yeah, flamethrower cover. Happy. I paid $16.65. I don't do auctions. This week I did 2 and I won them both. But they're stressful, and I always like getting a bidding war and then pay too much for books. So happy to get that one. So the last book, huge book, scarce book, World War II era book. Okay, so this has a reproduction cover. I'm going to show this to you. This has a ton of first appearances in it. I usually don't go for coverless books. It said it was complete, and it had a great facsimile cover. So it's true to form. Cyclone Comics #1 from January 1940. 1940, guys. Well, he said it was complete. I read this. It has a bunch of superhero first appearances in here. The interiors are really nice. Usually coverless copies are pages loose, frayed. But this one is really nice. I'm gonna throw it. It has first appearance of Tornado Tom. I'm gonna throw that up here. First appearance of Voltron, which was cool. Volton. Which when I try to do research, there is another Volton. And he has a similar powers, but there is no information about this one on the internet. It has some other great appearances. It has a lot of different stories in here. Another great one, Mr. Q. First appearance of this guy. I forget what his powers are. Where's that Volton one? Tornado Tom is really cool. And then this is a great story. They have a saboteur, Nazi saboteur on their ship. And he ends up doing something to the torpedoes where they don't work. And they fill these milk cans full of oil. And they shoot them out of the sub so that when they open up on impact, it looks like an oil slick on top of the surface. And the Nazis think that they hit the sub. A really cool story. So when I was reading this, and man, it was a great experience reading this, I realized that the centerfold was missing. Aww. The guy listed it as complete. I contacted him and I said, look, I just want to say, check your books in the future. This one's missing the centerfold. You said it was complete in the description. I didn't ask for any money. I didn't ask for a return or nothing. But the guy, he stepped up and he said, I'm not sure what to do. I could refund all your money, partial refund. What do you think? And so I sent him back, let's split the difference. So I got this book for $20. So with the shipping, it was like 26 bucks. I cannot believe it. I am so happy to even have this. It is a super scarce book. Cyclone Comics #1. I got it for like 26 bucks. And I was already happy with the book, so I didn't want to ask for any money because I didn't want to be deceptive. Knowing that I always, for $45, $46, I was completely happy because this is my thing. These scarce books, 1940, and I read it and I enjoyed it. But hey, he stepped up, sent me $20 back, and I went and bought another killer book off eBay, or my comic shop rather. But yeah, Cyclone Comics #1. So there you have it. That's my latest haul. But what did you guys think? What'd you think of this book here? What'd you think of my screw up? Have you screwed up before? Have you bought books thinking they were keys like more than once? Has that happened to you? What'd you think of the dollar books? Were those dollar books that you would pick up? I hope you enjoyed this one. Nighttiger Comics, Mike Smith, peace out.